If you've never played Guardians of the Galaxy, then
What are you doing here?
seriously, go and play it. Because after the disgusting filth of Marvel Avengers, they really knocked it out of the park with this game. Honestly, I would say that Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best games I've played in the last few years. Not the best, that position's reserved for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it's definitely up there. The only negative from a content creating standpoint is that there is a hell of a lot of copyrighted music in the background, so if you see me dancing around to what seems like nothing, I've not lost the plot.
Don't mind if I do!
Not quite just yet. So after keeping the game on my shelf, still in its wrapping since its release back in October 2021, I decided it was finally time to play it and aim for the Platinum Trophy. As it was my first time ever playing the game, and having been rightfully told how amazing it was, I decided I'd start by playing through the story without looking at the trophy list at all, and then afterwards I'd use the chapter select in order to finish off whatever trophies I still needed to earn. So in terms of trophies, Guardians of the Galaxy has a total of 59 trophies, of which 54 are bronze, 3 are silver, 1 gold, and then of course that one sweet platinum trophy. And if you like this content and want to see more in the future, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll really appreciate it. The game begins as we're exploring some restricted space, an old war ground completely deserted of life, well, kind of. While checking every nook and cranny, I came across an outfit which, once I equipped it, gave me the trophy like a glove. This will tie into a much later trophy, where we'll need to collect all of the outfits for each of the Guardians. The next trophy was called Self-Improvement. For this, I had to purchase my first Star-Lord ability by using an ability point that I'd earned through gaining experience fighting enemies. I then had to beat Rocket in a game of who can destroy the most space bug nests, and thanks to Rocket's inability to see what's right in front of him, I managed to pick up the trophy, Eat It Rodent, with ease. The next trophy was for capturing the vicious beast, which was the whole reason why we were in the restricted space initially. Its red eyes darted from within the darkness, blood was pumping, guardians were on edge, and it's a fucking llama, which netted me the trophy Llama Wrangler.
What the flark is that?
We are then introduced to the game's boss, so to speak, and quickly get into our ship and fly away, dodging falling debris, and eventually we exit the area, only to then be caught by Nova Corps. This gets us the trophy, a risky gamble, for completing Chapter 1. During Chapter 2, we have been arrested and we're on board Nova Corps' ship when there's a sudden explosion which throws a young cadet named Nikki over the rails. We jump over to save her and then make our way through her little secret hideaway space before then bumping into Corel, Nikki's mom. We agree to pay a fine and set off on our merry way. The end of Chapter 2 and another trophy. Busted. On to Chapter 3, and we are introduced to the first of 4 elemental powers that we will pick up throughout the game, usually triggered by the fear of losing a loved one. As Rocket sinks into the jelly looking quicksand, we earn the ice power, and also the trophy, Flash Freeze. Speaking of Chapter 3, our objective is to make our way to Lady Hellbender and sell off Rocket or Groot, depending on who you decided, in order to earn funds so we can pay off our fine. For getting to Lady Hellbender's fortress, and then we have to complete a quick flashback sequence. To finish the chapter, we then earn the trophy, the Cost of Freedom. For Chapter 4, I chose to sell Groot. He's taken away, and then the remaining Guardians wait until all of Lady Hellbender's soldiers are either drunk or asleep, in order to rescue him back. We were obviously caught, and the next trophy earned was for staggering my 25th enemy, which got me the Stagger Swag trophy. The next 3 trophies all came within quick succession of one another. After being caught by Lady Hellbender, we have to fight this mammoth-sized squid thing, and it packed quite a bit of a punch. The first trophy was Pick Me Up, for healing a downed enemy, followed by Squid Kicker for defeating the Dweller in Darkness, and lastly, the trophy, the Monster Queen, for completing Chapter 4. Then came another 3 trophies, one after the other. During chapter 5, we have to go back to the Novacorp ship in order to pay our fine, but something is wrong. Long story short, almost all of the guards there were brainwashed, because they've all accepted the promise. Basically, whatever your heart desires, but it's not actually true. These guys don't know that though. While fighting a shipload of the brainwashed Novacorp guards, we earned the trophies Catafian Handshake, Unstoppable Force, and Killer Friendship for executing an auto combo with Drax, attaining the maximum possible momentum 10 times, and executing an auto combo with Gamora. We continue looking for Nikki and Ko-Rel, but we have no luck, so return back to our ship, where chapter 5 ends and the trophy Do or Die pops. Chapter 6 begins with Rocket and Groot leaving the team because they're cheesed off with Star-Lord, and we make our way to go and see Cosmo. We want to tell him about all the brainwashing that's going on, but while making our way to him, we're ambushed by 2 of Lady Hellbender's goons, as she's still after us for killing her big squid. For defeating her 2 goons, we get the trophy Family Intervention. After being knocked unconscious following the brothers' fight, we then do another flashback sequence to finish the chapter, and in turn get the trophy Between a Rock and a Hard Place. Chapter 7 starts with us waking up inside a prison cell, where we end up having a barking match against Rocket. Yes, I was confused. We then wake up a second time, but realise we were under an illusion through Cosmo. After a few funny bits of dialogue, we tell Cosmo all we know and offer to help search for his team that never returned from Contraxia. We are then faced with another scenario where our guardians are close to death and unlocked the second elemental power, also earning the trophy Shock and Awe. As we progress through Contraxia, we end up having to fight a lot more brainwashed Novacorp guards. While we are still looking for Cosmo's team, we've not forgotten about Nikki or Ko-Rel either. While fighting, I executed an auto combo with Rocket, which got me the trophy Aim Assist, and then I managed to get my 10th flare attack to earn the Crowd Goes Wild trophy. We end up back aboard the Novacorp ship where we last saw Nikki, and there is absolutely no sign of her anywhere. Rocket hacks into Ko-Rel's computer and everything has been wiped clean. Our next option is the Central Nexus, which has backed up data of everything. We find out that Ko-Rel is dead, all thanks to the evil entity that we released in the first chapter. Then Grand Unifier Reika arrives and he informs us that the Matriarch awaits, ending chapter 7 with the trophy Canine Confusion. We finally get to meet the Matriarch, and Holy Sweet Mother of Jesus, it's Nikki. But Nikki has accepted the promise and is also brainwashed. She then offers us the promise and we find ourselves back at home with Star-Lord's mom and all the crew are there. After failing to do the correct sequence, we get overtaken by the promise and the game is complete. We get given the chance to try again, and this time around things work out differently. Due to copyrighted music, I can't show us pushing Star-Lord's mom away, only shooting her, giving her a quick hug and then shooting her again, earning us the Mama's Boy trophy for rejecting the Meredith Quill illusion. With the illusion rejected, the promise has been declined, and this brings us on a hell of a lot of fighting, followed by us floating through outer space and conveniently into our own ship, ending chapter 8 and earning us the trophy, the Matriarch. We then go to the World Mind to seek help against the evil church and all the brainwashing promises. The World Mind is and tells us that fighting is pointless and they will flee in order to save themselves. While here, we manage to pay the fine from chapter 2, and in doing so, earn the trophy Galactic Frugality.
Confirm payment. What? Whole universe is about to end and you spend our cash on a Novacorp fine.
With all of the Guardians feeling like all hope is gone, everybody goes back to their quarters and Star-Lord falls asleep. He ends up having a dream where Nikki blames him for her mother's death, and then the evil entity chases him before swallowing him whole. This is the end of chapter 9, and the trophy Desperate Times. We then wake up to find Drax has accepted the promise, and has landed our ship on Sacrosanct to find the Matriarch. Everybody else is fine but locked in their rooms, and after a little don't worry, be happy moment with the llama, we manage to escape. We then track down Drax, and with the help of Mantis, we manage to subdue him. We then spend some ability points, and for unlocking an ability in all Guardians' arsenal, we earn the trophy Dynamic Team. We continue to make our way down through some caves, and Mantis knows that in alternative timelines, sometimes we die, sometimes we don't, and continues to bug/guide us. I can't remember if it was explained at this point, but we are heading towards Adam Warlock, a god, the counter to the evil entity, in search for a way to save Drax from his promise. While on our way, we unlock the third elemental power and get the trophy Fan Friction.
One where I fail is the one where you don't.
You almost killed all of us! No more blowing things up, Rocket!
The next two trophies were both combat related, as we continued on our way to save Drax. First was Timber, for executing an auto combo attack with Groot, and then Bullet Hell, for defeating 15 enemies using Star-Lord's Fan the Hammer ability. We finally reach Adam Warlock, and Mantis puts us all to sleep, and we end up inside of Drax's head. We earn the trophy, A Test of Faith, for completing Chapter 10.
What the butt?
While inside Drax's head, we come across Thanos, who every time we defeat him, multiplies into more versions of him. Not quite sure why, but by getting beat by the many Thanoses, we earn the trophy Titan Slayer, for surviving the manifestations. Delving further and deeper into Drax's head, we find him playing with his daughter, and see that his promise is that his wife and daughter are still alive. During one of the many fights that took place, I earned the trophy Altitude Adjustment for defeating 20 enemies with Star-Lord's Eye of the Hurricane ability. We managed to talk Drax out of believing his promise is real, before Adam Warlock explains exactly what the hell is going on. We somehow find a way out of the twisting caves and briefly see Nikki disappearing into the space vortex-like thing, ending the chapter and earning us the trophy Mind Over Matter. We then head back to Nowhere, which has been attacked by the Church of Evil. Our objective is to try and find Cosmo again. We bump into more of the brainwashed loonies, and Gamora loses her rag when she sees a child that has been converted. During the resulting fight, I defeated my 10th enemy under Drax's Wrath of Katath ability, earning the trophy Adding Injury to Insult. The next trophy I managed to pop was Boom Show, for defeating 20 enemies with Rocket's 5-barrel barrage ability. And then shortly after that, I got the trophy No Way Nova Corps, for interrupting a Nova Centurion with Gamora's call to action. We managed to finally get to Nikki and disconnect her from some massive machine which is amplifying her promise power across the universe. Grand Unifier Raker shows up with a knocked out Adam Warlock, chats a bit of poop before then leaving with Nikki to begin drawing faith across the entire galaxy. This ends chapter 12 and we earn the trophy Nowhere to Run. We then have the idea of using Lady Hellbender to help us take on the Church, and decide it would be best if we take down and capture the biggest beast of them all, Fin Fang Foom. On our way, we unlock the fourth and final elemental power to save the team from being squished like ants, and this nets us the trophy Lava Launcher. After using our newly acquired fire shot, we make our way through the frosty landscape and come face to face with Fin Fang Foom. Well, face to toe, as he's bloody huge. We somehow manage to take him down and earn the trophy Foon's Doom. Lady Hellbender then arrives and we realise that we went a little too hard on Foom and killed him instead of just knocking him out. This does not sit well with Lady Hellbender, as we have
Murdered the Dragon Lord of Kakarantara! Ah!
Groot then decides now would be the greatest moment in time for him to unlock his ultimate ability, which brings Foom back to life. Lady Hellbender then agrees to help us out, and thus the end of chapter 13 and the trophy Against All Odds. We then make our way to the church's base, which is heavily guarded with enemies. With a little help from Lady Hellbender and some expert flying, we make our way in and begin fighting our way through the hordes of brainwashed enemies. I then unlocked Rocket's final purchasable ability, which happened to be the 12 out of 12, and earned the trophy fully loaded. A couple of fights later, I then earned the trophy Herbal Remedy for reviving or healing my companions 10 times using Groot's Gift of the Flora. Then, while finishing that exact same fight, I earned the trophy Train to Perfection for defeating 10 enemies with Gamora's Executioner ability. We then continue fighting all the brainwashed Muppets and sneakily make our way to save Adam Warlock, before again bumping into the dynamic duo of Nikki the Matriarch and Raker. As expected, Raker uses his magic and we are forced to watch Nikki fulfilling the promise to the galaxy as the evil entity begins taking everything over. Just as all hope is lost, the voice of Ko-Rel, she's dead remember, speaks to us as chapter 14 ends and we get the trophy Into the Fire. We begin chapter 15 inside of Nikki's promise, where she believes that Star-Lord is her dad and Ko-Rel is still alive and coming home to celebrate her surprise birthday party. After finally picking the right dialogue and getting her to reject the promise, she breaks free in some sort of Super Saiyan awakening and even has enough power to fend off the evil entity before falling unconscious. Adam Warlock quickly gets into the machine in order to suck the evil entity back into himself, and we fight Raker in a relatively easy fight. For defeating Raker, we get the trophy Faithless. We believe we have successfully saved the universe and do a little victory parade, sit back and watch the credits begin rolling, before finding ourselves back on the ship and Adam Warlock is experiencing some period pains or something. We earn the trophy Broken Promises for completing chapter 15, and then witness the twist in the story. The twist is that Adam Warlock couldn't control the evil entity Magus, and we then have to fight this godlike entity. Thanks once again to the mass amounts of copyrighted music, I can't include any of the in-game footage, but know that when It's the Final Countdown started blaring, I knew I was going to win. Defeating Magus earned me 2 trophies, the Magus for completing chapter 16, and Poetic Critic for defeating the Magus. Groot then heals Star-Lord, who then gives the stone to Adam Warlock again, because sometimes people never learn. This time though, it's to the tune of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. And the trophy, Guardians of the Galaxy pops, for us completing the game. With the story complete, it was then just a case of cleaning up the last few trophies. Because a couple of them were collectible based, I decided to go after those first. Thankfully, the majority of the collectible based trophies do not require you to collect everything, so I got the trophy Thoughtful Captain for finding half of the Guardian collectibles. I then continued doing level by level, picking up anything I'd missed along the way, and got the next trophy, Lore Hoarder, for collecting 65% of the Galactic Compendium entries from each category. Followed closely by the trophy Managerial Skills for finding all of the Guardian collectibles for one Guardian. The next trophy I earned was Drax the Dismemberer, for dismembering an Inquisitor with Drax's call to action. That was a bit of a mouthful. Then I earned the trophy Groot Canal for interrupting a charger with Groot's call to action. Then, probably the trophy that took the longest of all, but it really didn't ever become tedious as the game is that awesome, Fashion Passion, for collecting and equipping all outfits for all Guardians. Just be sure that you equip them all too, because I hadn't and I started to get a little twitchy when the trophy hadn't popped after I found the last one. With 2 trophies left, the end was in sight, and honestly I was kinda gutted. I got the trophy Slake Buster for interrupting a Slake Beast with Drax's call to action. This brings us to the last trophy that would then also bag us the shiny platinum. The trophy required me to defeat 15 staggered enemies with a charge shot. At this point in the game I had a total of 6 and decided to replay the same checkpoint to make it a little easier on myself. Once I got the 15th kill, I earned the trophy, set them up, knock them down, and then with that, the platinum trophy.
There we go.